So my first question is you know you guys are always speaking about the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
Who is the money owed to? Who's all that debt that all these countries? Who does it actually owe the money owed to?
Well, we obviously had to take loans from the IMF and the World Bank, certainly to pay our bills and to ensure that the run on banks didn't mean that people took all their money out and interest rates went right through the roof.
So you're saying the IMF and the World Bank, but there must be human beings to which we are all being enslaved. There must be real human beings. You can't owe money to.
Did I speak to you at Limud about
Yes.
this? Yeah. I did, didn't I? Yes,
Yeah.
I remember. And I remember you saying about the creation of money, and I went away and read it.
Right.
So you know that we've had that debate in Parliament, and I think that answers all the questions that you certainly had on that time.
Well, I'm asking you, which human beings you and your party?
Well, as I said, it's the IMF and the World Bank.
Yeah, well, which
and
human
we,
beings?
It's
where
not
did that money come from, and which human
Okay.
beings own it?
right.
In other words, who do we owe? Or to put it a different
Do you want to
way.
interview yourself?
No, sorry, carry on.
Well, I explained to you when I saw you at Limud back over Christmas that through the IMF and the World Bank, and in terms of our credit rating, we have to ensure that we pay our bills. And as such, it's not, as you say, it's not an individual. It's a whole commercial system that we have to ensure we do not lose the confidence of.
Yeah, but there must be individuals at the bit behind it all that actually are owed the money. Must be.
Well, as I explained to you at Limud, and I just explained to you now, it's through the World Bank and the IMF.
Okay. Here's my second question.
Okay.
Can you explain to me the relationship between your donors, the Conservative Party, and David Cameron, and all the people that can you explain to me how David Cameron makes a decision, bearing in mind there are the donors, there are head of the banks, there's the intelligence services.
Okay.
There are other intelligence
It's quite wide,
services.
but okay.
So how does he make a decision? What's the point of someone voting when at the end of the day, the people that are really making all the decisions surely are the people that are giving you money, Rupert Murdoch and all these type of people.
Okay. Well, I'll try and unpick that because that's quite wide-ranging. First of all, I don't believe Rupert Murdoch gives money to the Conservative Party. Secondly, the Conservative Party locally, we raise all the money that we spend on campaigning here. So it's local people who come to events and functions that we have, and people who make donations because they're worried about things like the mansion tax and they're worried about a Labour SNP coalition. I can't answer for David Cameron's decisions because I'm not privy to his decision-making process. But what I'm accountable for and what I'm answerable is the money we raise locally and how we spend it.
Yeah, but you say you're not answerable for David Cameron's decisions, but you are under pressure to...
how do you know that? Where do you get that from?
Party whip, how that all works.
Well,
yeah.
as many of my constituents know that I regularly vote against the party whip. The party whip has never put me under any pressure because I am independently minded and I do what I think is right for my constituents.
Right, okay. So you don't think that there is, in general, a conflict between the idea of you representing the constituents and the idea of there being a party and a party line?
No.
Okay. All right.
Straightforward. No.
What is your long-term vision?
Oh gosh.
For life? Because I'm really concerned. Well, you say that, but I'm really concerned about what my children and my grandchildren
I understand
are being moved into. I mean, I find. Let me change the question now. Right?
Okay.
A slightly different question, which is sort of related to this. Right. Personally, I see capitalism as the exploitation of millions of people. And when I go to Tesco, I try not to go to Tesco.
Okay.
I very rarely do, and I buy very, very little there. But when I go there, I'm aware that the amount of exploitation that is happening to get that.
How are you aware of this exploitation?
Well, it's kind of. It doesn't take a lot of rocket science to realise that to get a pineapple for 69p that they're selling, that there must be a lot of people in the process who are in employment, who are being exploited.
Why are they being exploited if they're in employment?
Well, for example, 0-hour contracts.
I don't think people in places where they produce in pineapples are on 0-hour contracts.
Hold on a second. Firstly,
I think you're quite all over the place, aren't you?
Well, hold on a second. So you're questioning my assertion that in order to get a pineapple to Tesco for 69p, there's got to be a lot of exploitation along
I am
the way.
questioning your assertion,
Right.
yes.
Well, how much do you
because
think
you have no
about- how
basis.
much do you think the people
you have
that
no
pick-
basis to make that assertion. You have no evidence. You haven't been out to those countries, and you've made an assertion based on nothing but what you believe is the general truth,
Well,
which is incorrect.
69p for a pineapple. How much of that money can go to the person who picked it? I mean,
Well, how do you know how much went to the person that picked
Well,
it?
it can't be very much if it's only the only.
Why is it?
69p
Why
for
can't it be very much?
Well, how could it be?
Well, I don't know, but
Well, there's such a
neither
thing-
do you.
Well, there's such a thing as
Neither
fair
do
trade.
you.
Well, there's such a thing as fair trade.
All trade is fair.
Okay, all trade is fair. So what is the fair trade things that they sell in the supermarket?
All trade is fair.
So you think all trade
Capitalism is fair.
is fair? You think capitalism is fair? Really? Is that what you really believe?
Well, I've just told you once.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to carry on doing some
Okay,
more leafleting.
thank
I think
you.
I've given you enough.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Yeah.